song in a
There
poem
we go.
held by the traveling chapters of the Silver Hand. He marched for a home that would not know him, for a peace that could never bear his name. The roads he trod were overgrown now, the hearth cold, the faces changed. The well still stood by the turning path, its rope frayed thin, its stones grown gray. And though the fields were green with promise, no one recalled who kept them safe. The bells rang on when his heart had stilled, their toll not for him, but for dawn's return. And children laughed where he once prayed, unaware of the ash that fed their earth. So lay him down where sunlight falters, where banners hang in tattered grace. He has gone home, but home forgot him, and only the earth recalls his face. The Lament of the Silver Soldier.
Oh, Theo.
I'm already sad.
Everything stays right where you left it, but it will still change. A pair of brothers remain close, but grow and change until one cannot recognize the other. A father raises his son in the way of his own father, but when the boy returns, he is no longer boy, nor even man. A knight returns from a long time away to find his code and his people corrupted from their purpose. A martyr returns to a people afraid of him. A wife returns, her husband to her, and he no longer recognizes her face. Everything changes. From a kingdom of prosperity to a kingdom of avarice, to a kingdom of wrath, to a kingdom of despair, to a kingdom of hope. For a time, Rest was able to breathe. Her people battered and bruised, but not gone. The city herself remained mostly abandoned, for the people of her kingdom do not forget easily what happened there. And still there remained the now masterless undead. The riches of the city stayed unspoiled for the same superstitions that the people held. Though some of its gold was taken by the soldiers of the Alliance, stories tell that their lives became cursed soon after, befalling poor circumstances or illness taking its insidious hold on their lives, or the new wealth brought brash and uncouth behavior from its plunderers. The shrewd made sense of it through the many foul things that laid in rest, and the normal temptations of gold. While their superstitious held their beliefs, spreading rumors of the vampire's curse laid upon the city as a whole. Fear and terror still gripped the people's hearts, but hope wormed its way back into their minds through calmer voices. Cities like Krushoven, Stadborough, and Lensil grew steadily as people looked for home and hearth. And though the work of brave knights and concerned citizens through, a great new project was born. A great earthwork wall was built up to isolate Everstill and the lands most afflicted by the nightmare Karstein wrought on the world. This newly dubbed Black Mire, for the levees that protected the land from being swallowed by the lake, had broken from disrepair. It became a breeding ground for all kinds of monsters in the woods from the city. The people, however, were spared its horrors, due to the combined efforts of the newly remade ravens and the blood dragons who manned the Black Wall and beat back the creatures into the mud. The people lived well and had little to want for the Inquisition and her members were sent out on one final mission from the Grand Inquisitor, to protect the people and to serve. No longer would the Scarlet Monastery act as a military power, and it would return to the roots of its founding, a monastery to train up the faithful in the ways of their God, and provide peace to those who could no longer thrive in the world they had defended. The newly formed ravens joined them in these efforts, taking in those who still had the spirit to fight. They would train them in methods thought less honorable, but proven more effective. Shadows, fighting the night, joined by the newly born blood dragons, led by 2 new vampire lords. All these efforts focused around the single parcel of land that was truly reclaimed from the mire. A long-forgotten town by the name of Cadefall, sponsored and stewarded by House Morellon, and overseen by the Scarlet Monasteries and the heroes of Stadborough. All was being made new in the ashes of the old, until another cataclysm fell on the Vale, for forces much larger than its people had faced before were moving behind the veil of the world, and all at once they were unleashed. Like a tide of fire and flame, the Orcish horde ravaged not only the Vale, but the whole continent upon which it rests. Hundreds of thousands of Orc, seeking to flee their slavery, fell upon the people of Xeris with such ravenous hunger, like locusts descending upon a field, burning and pillaging to feed their ever-hungering horde. Or so it was from the perspective of the people. For the Vale, it was the Bleeding Hollow, the Shadow Moon, and the Dragon Maw clans that attacked, attracted to the artifacts and shadow and blood that Karstein left behind. Driven by some unseen thirst, they came. At first, it was a stream of refugees. Men, Tabaxi, Lizardmen, and Aarakocra came, seeking refuge from the war that followed their bloody steps to the Vale. What they met was a well-organized wall of stone, steel, and yet more blood. Castles had been shorn up, men had been trained, and swords had remained sharp. Against the tide of darkness, the men of the Vale stood again, but they were alone. Without the allies of old, the young kingdom stood like a lone tree against a hurricane. Dragonfire washed over the endless plains. It consumed Lensil and Henberg. And though the clan leaders were brought low by poison, arrow, and stone, the Orcs' fury remained. Stadborough stood for months, her newly built high walls and moats, tempering the dragon's fire. The heroes of her people diving again and again into the sea of rage and fury. But when the water turned to poison and the night came on the city, monstrous horrors fell upon her people like ravenous wolves. The kingdom swallowed her pride. The people fled through the black mire, guided by the ravens and blood dragons, to a place only the eldest of men and vampire remembered. To the dwarf home they fled, and with pounding fist and children's cry, the doors were opened for the first time in centuries. The dwarf lords had not forgotten the sins of the past, neither were they too bitter to see that the children of their enemies were no longer their fathers and mothers anymore. The people of the kingdom had found safe refuge from the tide, and reinforced by the Dawi, they fought further and harder than ever before. Into the heart of the Orcs they struck with sword and fang and spell and rune. In the days of fighting, once again, the fields of rest were slick with blood. The brutal magic of the Orcish warlocks was countered by the stalwart runes of the dwarves, and the reckless violence of the Orcish horde was quenched by the cold skill of man and vampire, until all but one of the Orcish warlords remained, the head of the Dragon Maw clan. Atop the highest peak of the conquered Carrick Red Rock, the Dragon Maw had dug in their claws, but steel and stone do not protect from those who walk in the shadow. As the lions and Brindle, the dwarves of Carrick Asgal and Twin Peaks, and the ravens and blood dragons fought before her once glorious gates, the heroes of Stadborough followed the dwarves into the secret places of the mountain and trapped their enemies like rats in a cage. They cast down the mighty dragon lord and smote his corpse upon the low peaks. They once again knew peace. The world had again changed around them. Everything still changes. The war against the undead had left the kingdom wounded, but not dead. But the war against the Orcs left little to remain. Of the great houses, only 2 remained, and much of their land had been scorched by dragon's fire. Many people had no livelihoods, nor food, nor even homes to return to, so they left. The husks of their homes still empty, The fires of the hearth that dotted the countryside lay cold in the stone foundations. The hope for rebuilding had been snuffed out, and it would take decades for some semblance of normalcy to return. Troops still watched from above the black wall. Farmers still eked out their existence amongst the burnt orchards and fields. And slowly, life would return. But not in a way that it once did. People were now afraid. Afraid that the cruelty of life would once again rip away their happiness. That their sons would once again have to march off to war, leaving an empty bed to sit without finality. That they would never again see the bright light of summer. But the human spirit is indomitable. The harvest would return. Children would grow strong, and homes would be rebuilt. The spring did come again to the forest and fields. Warmth would return to the hearth, and the morning would always beat back the night. Just not for everyone. Some of the heroes of old, as they came to be known, lived out their lives in quiet contemplation, content with the world rebuilding in the nourishment of their past sufferings. Loved ones became spouses, children became adults, and their names became history. Their history became stories, and their stories became myth. Others saw the world for what it was, wounded and hurt, needing to be treated with the actions of their heroes. Some traveled north beyond the great sea to where darker beings slept. Some south to the scars of the orcish horde, and joined like minds to watch for their return, even perhaps piercing the veil. And others yet wandered, seeking the small forms of evil that creep and lurk, saving the hamlets, the villages, the boys crying in the streets, the girls trembling in their mother's arms, the towns like Darashire to spare them the pain they themselves once felt. From the Song of Heroes Gold, they walk the roads where hope has withered, where the hearths burn low and hearts have failed. They bear no crowns, no coin, no glory, only the will that will not pale. They come when fathers cannot rise, when children's cries filled ruined halls. They lift the sword for those who falter, and hold the line when daylight falls. The world forgets their name in passing, their deeds unsung, their faces gone, yet still they come through smoke and sorrow, to guard the flame till there is dawn. So when the dark surrounds your door, and every prayer feels spent, unheard, remember them who walk unseen, whose hearts still answer, not yet, not while I endure.
That was lovely.
We got a song.
Multiple.
Does anyone have any questions?
All right, what do y'all fuckers do? What did y'all
Oh, the
decide?
kitty's here.
What do you mean?
Come here.
Yeah, Ethan, clarify.
For what you what would your characters do after the campaign?
After the campaign?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Like what we were telling
like-
Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, first and foremost, I was gonna originally start set up an Everstill, thinking like, oh, that's Karstein's main place of influence, and just essentially reclaim it fully. That was his main thing. But then hearing all what Josh said, I was like, nope, I'm switching over to Staburo.
Mm.
And then, but basically, what Connor had made the Ravens out to be, effectively, is to be more magical based and more stealth based. He linked towards many members of the Inquisition that might have started to lose their way, or might have been too blood hungry to see then that needed someone that can actually tame them, type of deal, or have them in check. And someone like Isabel that did it was like, no, I think this guy's a little too dangerous to be without anyone that can check him on anything. I'll send him to Conrad, and I basically asked for like those of the Inquisition and like all the other factions, and that's what I basically made the Ravens out of. So we don't get another group of villains or another group of bandits like the first motherfucker we were dealing with, Kuzman, who was just like essentially, man, now we're like so downtrodden, out of luck. But we're also a little, but also if given the
People who could do good just needed the chance.
Yeah, just need the chance. So that's what I mainly did. And then I also another main thing I did was besides helping out everyone else with the resolutions and that stuff, I also basically started saying like, hey, can we get the dwarves' room back on our side? Can I tempt him with some old things like the sort of vengeance and a couple other like treasures we might find? Like just give them back to the dwarves and be like, hey, can you please forgive us for a little while so we can deal with this? So yeah, that was mainly what I did.
Like for Emran, she mostly joined in Conrad's efforts and all of that, but like centered a little bit more on like healing and restoration magic, kind of straying away from the shadow a little bit, but still just like still with the Ravens having enough magic and enough trickery to kind of still have that spirit. But like Emran would have spent a lot of those 5 years before shit went down just like trying to rekindle things with people that she lost but are still alive. Like her friend in Rest who may or may not be dead. With Estrella. We never did find out, no. He's probably dead given everything though.
He probably.
Like try to find her sister, like help Estrella with all the blindness shenanigans and eventually trying to pursue a romantic relationship with her. I mentioned to Josh that, like, the Orcish invasion probably interrupted Emran's plans to propose to Estrella. But, like, generally just focusing on support and helping people as opposed to hurting people anymore. Oh, goodness. That is some images. Wonderful.
That's quite the swamp. I'm still seeing it as the Black Gulch from Dark Souls 2. Adventure location as well.
Oh my god.
Let's not say we did.
Let me see. There we go. Yeah, what lovely, horrible imagery.
I guess for Heinrich, let me look what I sent Josh. Real fast. 15 Nightwalkers tree. Ah, 15.
Yeah, Nightwalkers are a doozy.
Fuck you, Karen.
Fuck
Yeah, so Henrik would spend the first-ish year with Izzy, kind of like just manning the monastery and kind of cleaning up the creatures of the night for all the time. And then like in the second year after all that's been cleaned up or however much time, he's going to spend a lot of time with his family and kind of help rebuild Hoffman Mills.
you.
And then kind of act as like a Batman at the night during the night. Mainly because it's like he knows that he's restless and he needs a purpose, and this is not it anymore. He feels like he cannot lead a peaceful life. And then after that, he's going to spend time with Porsche and Amelia in the creation of the new night band, helping them train, and also do a lot of research on like the diseases from like the witchwood and other things. And during some amount of time before the orcish horde happens, he's going to ask Isabel for marriage, which I'm assuming went through. Josh.
You sounded a little frightened there. Marriage, yes.
Marriage, yes. And then also vampire?
Not yet.
Okay.
I gotta ease into that, I guess.
a few decades down the road. And then obviously he'd be to ask if she would want to be a vampire or whatnot. And then when the Orcish invasion comes, he's going to play a very proactive effort. He's going to be like either as the vanguard or assassinating key targets. And then if situations get too dire, use the ring and summon some friends.
Some cheeky undead.
Cheeky undead.
Call him like the undead region. Sits there like solo leveling, just arise. During this time, or sometime in the future, he would also create his own kind of squad. Which I found out the way that I'll have it laid out and how the philosophy code, it would be almost exactly like a Forish. The Blood Dragons have highly specialized like individuals in certain things, take DPS, like a herbologist, maybe a magician or whatever. Eventually he would create all of them through time. And he would go to the north and fight the more dangerous things of up there at the behest of Isabel, and also of his own too.
I guess kind of what following what Heinrich said. Amelia was also helping with reforming the Blood Dragons with her own lineage. They're the ones that become kind of the wandering knights, kind of attempt to protect people and give back in exchange for the harm that they, as vampires, will inevitably cause to the living. And did you give my husband amnesia?
No.
Good.
Figure of speech.
I had to be sure. I never know.
The fact that you were so different from who you were.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
I don't think he would have really recognized you anymore.
That's fair, honestly.
7 years will do that to a person.
Yeah, it was a wild 7 years.
Josh, I do have a question about the first paragraph. When it mentions a pair of brothers remain close but grow and change, who is that in reference to?
Hornish and Constantin.
Oh.
Oh, that's one toxic sibling relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of vampires' relationships end up that way.
Yeah.
Ah, fair.
I thought I told you to stay away. I lied.
Just leave me alone to be a hermit in the woods, Daniel.
Yeah.
Why'd you send these guys to my fourth doorstep?
I didn't. I was gonna kill him.
It's fair.
Look how badly you fucked it up.
It's either one vampire is like it's like, oh man, I'm a danger to the world. I'm just gonna chill in the middle of nowhere and hope no one bothers me. And the other one's like, all right, I'm gonna take over a city.
And, like,
I
the
need-
second line also confuses me a little bit. A father raises his son in the ways of his own father, but when the boy returns, he is no longer boy nor even man.
Heinrich.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mom runs in. You need to eat. I don't like this skinny shit.
We don't do that here.
Oh,
No,
nice
you are
skinny
a
baker.
baker's child. You eat bread.
Fun fact: I don't eat. I don't need to eat anymore. Did Heinrich's sister actually learn how to walk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm
was
not killing
alright.
this, but for lying. Yes.
She was alright by the end of all of it. I think most
Wonderful.
of you would have. I did not have the heart to murder any of your families in the post.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
And
What about
besides,
our
we gotta be
friends,
like
though? Is my
Lou-
friend alive?
Lou.
Oh yeah, no, he died, and like
Yeah, I
everyone
figured.
inside, and every human being in Rest died before
figured.
the end of the campaign.
Sort of thing like still yikes.
What about my sister? What happened with her?
I'm gonna save that for later.
Oh. Okay.
What about you, Evan? What were you doing?
Not
Yes.
dying, I hope.
Probably gonna kill myself.
I literally just specified in my thing that I tell Josh, just we are not letting Lou die.
Same.
I'm like, I was
Like adding that to the bullet points.
Am I a
It's
bad
like-
person for not adding that to mine?
Yes.
I didn't add it to mine either because I need everyone else to add theirs. But
Okay, we've got someone from each faction checking in on occasion. It's fine.
I was gonna basically expect like Llewellyn be the one that's like somehow like runs into like the final bosses area and just like throws all his spells down at once and blows himself up or something like that. I was expecting something like that for you, but no.
He said BRB, I can't harass him.
Hmm.
I think what I had in mind was that eventually Isabel, amongst others, would try and leverage Llewellyn into taking over the Scarlet Monastery
Oh.
as a monastery. Like, Llewellyn's got some great ideas, just really bad habits.
Yeah, just put him in one place.
If we
Just
just
leave him-
put him in a monastery where there's no rope, no
All the
wrapper,
fur objects.
and like give him something to live for, people to fix, I think he would live a good life. Or as good as a life as he's willing to give himself.
I mean, through a very convoluted pathway. The rest of us kind of turned out okay.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't.
It's not nearly as bleak as Strahd.
No.
No.
Like,
Not
Strahd,
Really, because I thought
everybody
it was
had a
gonna
bad
be, like,
end.
in the middle to end game portion.
Most people are like relatively okay.
Yeah.
I think there's
Just
a lot of,
traumatized.
for me it felt the way I was always like thinking about it's like this feels a lot like the end of Lord of the Rings. Where it's like
Yeah.
some people got a couple of happy endings, but most of everyone is just like
Bittersweet.
I can't live in this world anymore because it's not the world that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that sucks. But
I
I'm
can't live in this
alive.
world because I'm nocturnal.
That too.
Mhm.
I kind of envisioned eventually Amelia kind of heading south. Heinrich
see
ends
that.
up going north. Amelia, very much I can see her being like, orcs, no more. Stay in your box. Build in a box over the portal. No more orcs.
Starting a fine tradition here.
I think it's very fitting that one goes south,
Good, you're
other
back,
one
Evan.
goes
What were you
north.
doing?
We are essentially saying, no, you cannot cross these borders. There's two vampire lords in the way. East and west, okay, that's a different story. The dwarves can handle that.
I mean, there's mountains. It's fine.
We can only cover so many cardinal directions, okay? There's only so many of us. The rest of y'all gotta do shit too.
So at the end of the day, there really aren't any vampires left in the Vale. But I will have vampires to use if we ever do any orc campaigns, any Chult campaigns, and the Northrend campaign.
Oh god.
Wait, where did Dad go?
Dad followed Amelia for a bit and then went back to Oldham to see if he can eke out some kind of a life.
Good for him.
Good for him.
To see if he can get rid of any of these very angry skeleton lords.
Angry skeleton lord.
He probably looked at Heinrich and says,
Angry
don't follow me.
Intentionally did not tell Heinrich where he's going, like very intentionally.
I look at you,
Just
I'm
absolutely
proud,
fucking not.
but you make me sad and I'm angry at you.
All right.
This is not your fault, but your existence reminds me of a lot of pain.
It's like don't follow me. He immediately goes east rather than going west or something like that. It's like he immediately goes east like for about half a year, and I think this is far enough. I think Heinrich would have gone off my trail, and then immediately finds a different route back to his original place. Like, all right.
He just goes back to that mansion.
Yeah.
Yoink.
He just goes back to the
That'd be so
mansion.
funny.
It's for your real
Like,
estate.
all right.
We show up there like a century later, passing through, like, wait a second.
He shows back up. He shows back up basically like looks at like Amelia, whoever's there. He's like, is Heinrich still around? No. Okay, good. I get to go back to my original destination.
You did, and see.
I think, would Heinrich be the Northern one, Josh?
Hmm?
If we see vampires,
What about it?
would it be Heinrich in Northrend? I've traveled too far. Looks left, looks right. Why is there ice?
Why is it perpetually winter here?
I think the way that you phrased it and the way Isabel would try and steer it, we would hopefully never actually see Heinrich.
Hopefully.
What does that mean? Elaborate.
Look, there's a lot of things where I say this shouldn't ever happen. Or perhaps, like, let me put it to you this way. Isabel was never meant to survive this campaign.
What was gonna kill her?
Never meant to be alive. Y'all made it so clear to me she gonna die, and I was like, all right, I'm mentally prepared for that.
And they're just like, wait, actually, no.
So, in my mind, hopefully we never see Heinrich again. Because if we see Heinrich again, that means he has either A, been pushed to the point of getting his grubby little mitts into things, or you all are trying to kill him.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I don't want either of those to have to happen because I don't want to torture Heinrich anymore.
but
I think he
what if I-
deserves a relatively happy ending after all the crap that he went through. Same with the rest of these characters.
Yeah.
But Josh, if the story makes sense,
If the story makes sense, yes, but that's why I say hopefully, because I don't want the story to ever make sense, because if it does, then it got sad.
Yeah.
I don't want Heinrich's grubby little hands in Northrend.
I don't want him
This
to
knows that
have
content
to,
has enough problems.
I don't want him to have to feel like he's the only one who can handle things anymore.
Simply-
It's just every 7 days. Luella just prays, Mater, just smite him, please.
What's the
Just-
range of divine intervention, Josh?
That's a question I never want to think about.
And then Josh,
How far do we
would
have to get from Lou before he can nod on vampire us?
Josh, how long would it take before Isabel willingly turns to vampirism?
Oh, she gotta be old.
The vampiric power couples.
Like 50, 60 years.
Sitting around the corner, you could just avoid all this old age.
And it's also one of those things where she still views vampirism as just like a purely bad thing.
Oh, without a doubt.
So honestly, naturally, never. She will never accept it.
Mhm.
However, old gods are scary.
And Northrend's full of them.
No, it has one. It's just the most active one.
Yeah.
Yogg is a
Yogg is
Piece of work.
a hungry boy.
Just
The
too
other
many
ones are-
mouths. If you didn't have so many mouths, you wouldn't be so hungry.
Yeah, the other ones are very subtle about their on a cosmic scale, very subtle about things. Y'all be like, let me out! Let me out! Stabro will still remain. Still be a city. Lensil will be partially rebuilt. But the Black Mire is still gonna stay for a very long time. It'll be involved in some future campaigns in the
Oh,
Vale.
goody.
Rest is not ever really gonna
Oh,
fully
God, no.
recover. It's just
People are just
It's-
like,
it's
nah,
like-
fuck that.
That place is
It-
cursed.
it's kind of like how over like 100 years Smaug's corpse still never got touched. Because it's just like, I have no way to confirm whether this is true or not, but that's cursed as crap. I ain't
It's like,
touching
is that really a chance you want to take?
The corpse of a city taken over by a vampire. Surely nothing could go right there.
It's just magic Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no,
Well, nah,
that's Corthia.
that's Corthia.
But it's very much like cursed. People don't want to go there. And
Bad vibes.
as a kingdom, it's probably never going to recover back to the size it was. But it'll still be there, just on a smaller scale.
Mhm.
All right, we gotta ask, what was Kirak Zarum's contribution in all this?
Saved the people of Rest, like 80% of the people who were still alive after all that.
Sandrick, now I'll listen. I know
Good
this
job,
is
past
terrible.
us.
Oh, you still need to
helped-
work. Work is good for the soul.
helped the current party or the Bob party get to the Dragon Maw clan's leader, which that fight would have been really difficult if you weren't fully rested,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a CR20. That's a 20th level Barbarian riding on top of an ancient red dragon.
Oh
Oh,
god.
God.
So,
Jeez.
and then they did the typical dwarf thing, massive column of heavily armored infantry smashing away at the soft squishy orcs. Also, a couple of giant statues that came alive. I'm not
Nice.
saying it gave a lot of the people of Rest a heart attack seeing all of this magic show up. But like when you go from like, all of our mages are dead, our most powerful casters are like 5th level casters. That's a 30-foot tall statue of a woman
Oh
with an axe.
god.
And the
Wait.
Bob party's just like, where do we get one?
That
Yeah.
man just summoned the sun.
Just I imagine just Emran looking at all this and just, damn, I thought I was a good mage. These people blow it out of the water. What the
Dwarves blow all
fuck?
the magic in the underground.
That
Santa around
It's
the
a
woman
fucking
is
corner.
mystery.
literally causing an earthquake.
Santa around the corner. You're just very misguided.
Wait.
All
I
that
don't know what
black
that
shadowy
means, but
stuff,
cool.
take that and throw it out the window.
I
It's
did.
You'll
just
be great.
Samter just showing up and being like, "Look, you never really had a good father figure for magic. I just feel like you could, use some guidance."
So
Am I,
hear you
am I
wanna-
being adopted by
Damn.
another dad?
So I'm
Is
hearing
Xander
that
adopting another child?
you need to learn how to heal. Now I'm not saying
I've already
I'm the
been figuring that
greatest,
out.
but you see, but I can help you.
Okay,
It's
I'm
just
not
a
sure how to
it's
feel
just-
about this.
It's just
Magic.
dwarven nature. See child, become adult, become father. It's just what
Yeah.
dwarfs do.
Don't worry. We'll clothe you. We'll feed you. Just don't cast any black magic in the house. We'll be fine.
I make my own clothes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Samter is really just being like, you may have spent your whole life doing this, but your life is really short. You need better
Yeah.
clothes.
Yes. You need better clothes. You need to learn
I
better.
just
and you need
imagine
to learn
like Emran
faster.
turning to Conrad, just, "Hey, Dad, how do we feel about this?"
I feel like Conrad would be okay with some co-parenting.
Well, especially if he knows Samter.
He initiated. Oh gosh, can you imagine
Oh,
how jarring
Oh,
that would
God.
be?
jarring though.
met-
It's like
Wait a
met-
second, I know that guy.
You
Yeah,
met
no.
Samter a few times, and like
Oh, God.
100 years later, it's
Yes.
just like that's the same guy. He's just a little gray with a really long beard now.
That's the same guy. No.
Hey, aren't you like
Samter's
the?
Yeah, it's like wait.
See, now I just
You were one of
imagine
his
Tarek looking at
captains.
Emran and just, "Congratulations, you're now my little
captains."
sister."
All the dwarves are just looking at Conrad like, yo, our favorite edgelord is back.
Yeah, just, "Hey, it's our boy."
Hey, the executioner.
How are you still alive? You shouldn't be alive.
everyone
How are
looked
you
at
alive?
Conrad's like, everyone turned to Conrad. It's like, what the fuck did he call me?
Samter walks over. Come here, boy. You need a hug. Come here.
God, now I can't help but think of Emran as just like sort of the reverse Hornet. 3 dads instead of 3 moms.
Come here, boy. You.
1
need
born,
a
1
good- you
trained, and
need-
1 parented.
I think you need a little bit of loving, a little bit of hugging, and some damn great food, and some beer to wash it all down. Come on.
I don't like
Of course.
beer.
Let me. I believe this is time to regale some stories.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
If you
He
say you don't
just-
like beer, do you get disowned in dwarven culture?
And he just like sits
feel like
there
you
looking
do.
at the dwarves, and they're all excited. And he's just Hornbelly Festival.
I feel like I am having no input on this. I feel like this is going to
No.
happen whether or not I say anything or not.
No, they are the people with 30-foot tall.
They're the ones with the fucking
Yeah, they're the
goals.
ones
We
with
don't
the
question
30-foot
them.
tall moving statues. We're not going to question it. We're just going to accept it.
They went to the demon realm for fun and for religion.
Fun and
That is a
religion.
pretty wild thing to do as a religious ceremony.
Yeah.
Just pop in Dargus and say square up to the first thing you see.
I think the best part is that they see Samter and half of his face is just this battle, like just tattooed of like Mord, and then he smiles and it's like, oh, and a nose piercing too. And
You're just
a
like, oh,
septum.
this guy's terrifying. Oh, wait, no, he's just a
Oh.
teddy bear.
I'm
Who is also
thinking,
terrifying
like,
in the way that bears are terrifying.
As I cast the sun from the sky. And I do my own version of divine intervention to have a hammer slam down on the enemies.
I'm thinking like, what if there was something where it's like the dwarven lords like recover like Nathan Balegan's armor, and then
Oh.
seeing Conrad basically in that position, he's like, nope, this is yours.
This is yours now.
This is for you, boy.
How much shit do we get to give them for not getting rid of all the vampires, though?
All of it.
Now,
It's just
Sandra
like
looks
you
like
They
had
just start talking shit about the
30
war of the
foot
beard, and they're like,
tall.
hey, you remember?
Yeah, just, hey, you had 30-foot tall moving statues with axes, and you still let us deal with the problem?
Now you see, if you didn't cut off one of my
We didn't
dear
do
beloved
shit.
daughters.
We didn't
We're
do
doing
shit. That
this.
was. I'm a peasant.
And-
Let's see.
Okay, we all
Let's
know
see,
that
right?
it was not knowingly that they let all this happen. They
Yeah.
started peeking their heads out when the earth started shaking,
Yeah,
and it's
just
like, oh,
what the
no.
fuck is that? Oh, wait a minute.
It just
Things
took
got
them
bad.
too long to get everyone together.
It's like peeking your head out of a nuclear shelter and realizing that the world is fixable but terrible.
Because we gotta keep in mind, Carrick's room is still like a couple miles underground.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I wasn't talking about those vampires.
Like they closed the door and we're like, you know, we're done.
Yeah,
Nobody's
just
gonna go up.
screw the humans. If they die, they
We're
die.
We're
Center
turning
pieces.
off the lanterns. We're not leaving guards anymore. Doors welded shut.
Santa picks his head out. Saza,
It's just us and our lake.
get my hammer.
Get my hammer.
We're going out there to
yeah.
kill things.
Of course we are. Who do you think we are?
What are we
Bad
killing?
things
Is it the
happening.
humans? Are they dead yet? What's going on?
No. There's something even worse. There's these things that are just bigger goblins.
What
We
the
hate
fuck are
Tell me
those?
more about this.
Let me get my
Big
gauntlets. They shoot light.
So,
Big goblin.
also, I do enjoy,
I cannot stand how simplified you've made orcs, but it's like very true.
Yeah.
It's also very
The
dwarf.
dwarves would absolutely just see this and go, big goblin must kill.
Oh,
Wait, is it not coming from the
goodness.
worm smokes? Where are these guys
dirty
coming from?
green skin.
Of course, with this epilogue, that also means that Emran potentially
green
has
moon.
met both Zeph and Toric now.
Oh, she definitely met Torek.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely met
If
Torek.
Emmer's being taken in by Sander, she definitely met
The only
Torek.
question
Now,
here is
I'm
whether
not
or not she actually met Zeph, and whether or not
I'm not
he's
sure
left by now.
Honestly guaranteed that Emran met even Samter, because the whole idea was that
Oh, yeah.
we all know that the clan lords would love to go up there and kick some butt, but that the Bob party would be like, this is our job in our home, and the dwarves would be like,
I don't know, I think we'd accept the help.
I think you would accept that and then say we're gonna go to the front lines of the biggest fighting
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah.
just reduce as many casualties as possible.
You're just like, oh,
That's
you're
very
helping
much
us
what
now?
we do.
Cool, we'll do the dangerous shit.
You guys go that way, take care of that. I imagine either Emil or Torek would guide them, and then the other three would just be like, we're on the front lines and we're scaring the crap out of the Orcish warlocks as much as possible.
So seeing Toric absolutely like deck an orc with an uppercut is a fun image.
What do you mean?
You and Heinrich could bond.
Because it's not an uppercut, it's a flying uppercut.
It's a
because
flying
you can't
uppercut.
reach.
Also,
'Cause
And
Yeah,
yeah,
like 7
Toric and
foot
Heinrich
8.
would bond. Just like, oh, you punch people too.
Of course. You just see like blood start flowing to him. Of course.
Oh, you're on the other end of that spectrum. Okay. Just immediately sees that and just, oh, okay, fuck that, but we're working with it. Summons light in her
people made
hands.
it
Just
a
let's fucking
conversation
go.
When the doors find out we're vampires.
Heinrich is just, you can summon lightning. What?
Yeah, just
Also,
summons
usually
light to her hands and just starts beam attacking everything.
I think if you could pick a monk that was the most magical,
Yeah,
the most antithetical, it would be Torek.
yeah.
And see, Heinrich's sitting there like, why didn't I get this? I don't want to. You know what I got? I can punch really, really hard. I'm really, really
Cool,
good
so
at
can
this.
I.
But you light. You can shoot beams of light. You know what I have? He holds
Yes,
up
that
like
is why I
this.
typically stay at range, but if I need to punch people in the goddamn face, then I'll do it.
Why are you British?
I don't fucking know.
Heinrich holds up a sling that has blood dripping off of it. This is all I got.
Why is it dripping blood? How'd you get blood on that? Never
Don't worry
mind.
about that. I should just cleave through. Just with one rock, like, 2 heads explode.
See, now I'm just imagining a race between Heinrich and Toric.
Oh god, it's like Olsen Gimli.
yeah.
I think I'd win though.
No, I'm talking like an
Olsen
actual
Gimli.
on-foot race, because both of them were
Oh, that kind of
incredibly
race.
fast.
I think it'd be even though because you only ended up with the 50-foot movement speed, right?
I also have, like, a Chardalon Stride, which I think boosts your movement.
Oh, I don't know.
Just use
She
your vampiric
definitely had
teleportation.
something that boosted her movement.
So,
Yeah, Sandra doesn't have that. Sandra, fine, I'll do it my way.
Yeah, a
Summons
Chardalon
things,
Stride increases your speed by 20 feet, or 5 per extra spell level. As, like, Torque would just, like, touch a couple of tattoos on her calves and just, like, alright, let's go. And then she just lights on fire. Like, her legs just light on fire as she runs.
Going, you know there's a war on, right?
Yeah,
like,
Okay, I just want to be sure.
that is why we
Um,
kill things as we run.
this is giving me the vibe. I remember like in the Avatar comic, there was like essentially this brief scuffle between King Boomy and Toph, and they went to his camp because of very
Yeah.
similar circumstances where they were like no, we have to decide who's the best here now.
This is more important than everything else.
Yes.
As Heinrich is making an additional attack on top of Torque.
Yeah. Torque just also just shoots fireballs everywhere. Just balls of light.
Works weird.
But Torque would also be probably appalled with how Heinrich is fighting.
Oh, yeah. Just like, oh, okay, that is the most violent fighting style I have ever seen.
It's like fighting with a xenomorph.
Yeah, it's like fighting with a
Honestly, yeah.
xenomorph.
Honestly, yeah. That's exactly how it would be.
Yeah.
Like, how in the hell did you? It's just, I survive.
Why
Yeah.
is he climbing like that? Why is he climbing on the wall like that? Why is he moving like that? Why is he moving?
Like,
why is he jumping at me
It's
like
like
that?
putting Vi League of Legends next to Wolverine.
So true.
Just
And-
like
and
absolute, like, what the fuck? But I'm down.
Mimir's sitting there with a gun ready to kill the vampires. No, down boy. Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe they'll leave and we don't have to worry about it.
Maybe they'll just fuck off and we won't have to deal with them again.
No,
Let them fight the orcs, so you'll get themselves killed in the process.
puts in dragon breath.
No, not
Because they
yet,
do my
Mimir.
way.
They're still
The
helpful.
dwarf sitting there.
Dang.
How did he not die? It's just Heinrich's just regenerating.
Joke's on you, I'm already dead.
There'd be a lot of interesting interactions between the Bob Party and the dwarves.
I mean, Sam would be like, "Oh, you guys are great. We're keeping the boy and we're keeping the girl, and we're looks at Llewellyn. You're great. Now you two."
Just looked at the vampires, just you two.
I don't need your judgment.
I'm just saying, I'm not disappointed,
He's disappointed.
He's definitely
But-
disappointed.
you can still be better. Yeah, you can still be better.
But you don't know how much of an improvement this is. This could have been so much worse.
It could have been so much worse.
But it isn't.
No. Oh, goodness.
Great.
This has gone a lot longer than I anticipated, just simply because we've been yapping.
Yeah, because
I'm pretty sure this is what always happens.
Yeah.
Was it church?
I'm not quite ready to start because spent a lot more time on that.
Oh, fair.
We'll keep yapping.
Masterly crafted epilogue.
Masterly crafted
Awesome.
epilogue.
I haven't got that emotional.
I joined
Can't fit anything to watch on.
the Divinity server, and I do see Evan has started his art, which is good.
Oh, goodness.
Is it the Mary?
It's straight up the entire ship.
That is already some
Oh.
Evan art.
In case for
I'm excited to be a little ball of fucking fire and fury.
mm,
Oh my god, that is full art of the Mary.
Here, I think I'm gonna end this recording for the epilogue now, and we can slowly transition to divinity.
I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if Evan's character just wears a hat, right? And nobody can tell he's an undead, just like in Divinity.
That's how it works typically.